don't fight for one life. We fight for all of them.
Avengers Infinity War.
When you said we were going to open Wakanda to the rest of the world, this is not what I imagined.
What did you imagine?
The Olympics? Maybe even a Starbucks?
Everywhere April 27th.
Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Michelangelo here, bringing you another video. So this is gonna be my spoiler talk review for Avengers Infinity War. I recommend if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it first, then come watch this video, because I'm gonna be going in depth about everything, everything in the movie. So if you haven't watched the movie, click off the video, go watch the movie, then come watch this, okay? So I'm gonna be going really in depth about everything. So man, oh my goodness, this movie was crazy, man. I went into the movie with the mentality I had my theories about who was gonna die. I knew for sure Loki was gonna die, Iron Man was gonna die, but it took a huge turn. I wasn't expecting what to happen. I wasn't expecting the people to die. I wasn't expecting the people who died to die. But anyway, let's get right into this. So the movie picks up. It picks up right after the events of Thor Ragnarok, after the end, where Thanos' ship appears, and there's Guardians is escaping. They're heading to Earth and everything, and then Loki and Thor look at the ship and they, yeah, he's here. So it starts with Ebony Maw. They're on the ship, and Ebony Maw is like monologuing and stuff. He's talking to Loki, and Thanos, literally you can see bodies on the ground. All the Asgardians are dead. Everyone is dead. The only people who are alive are Heimdall, Thor, and Loki. So Thanos is standing next to Thor's body on the ground, and I was like, I didn't even realize that was Thor until I looked closer. So he's standing next to Thor on the ground, and Ebony Maw is monologuing and telling Loki, you need to hand over we sent you on a mission. You need to hand over the Tesseract and everything, So now Thor is being held on the neck by Thanos, and Thanos is threatening Thor and threatening Loki, and he's telling him, if you don't give me the Tesseract, I will kill your brother. In fact, this is how he said, the Tesseract or your brother's head. He was literally grabbing his head by the, oh my god, it was crazy. So, he's freaking, Loki's like, go ahead, do it. What? You can't do nothing, man. I ain't afraid of you. You're just bluffing. He wasn't bluffing. Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, so he was freaking about to squash Thor's head until Loki was, okay, man, okay, man, come. Okay, here. So he freaking pulls it out of nowhere, and then he gives it to Thanos. Thanos breaks it, puts it on his no, hold on, before he crushes it and breaks it, Loki tells him, you may have killed everyone, blah blah blah, killed everyone, but you didn't take into account one thing: we have a Hulk. So Hulk comes out, he starts beating up Thanos, doing everything, beating him up and everything, and then Proxima Midnight is like, should we help him? And then Ebony Maw is like, let him have his fun. So now, when he said that, Thanos was getting his ass kicked, boom, thought, Hulk thought he was doing something, he was giving him them hands, you know what I'm saying, beating him up and everything. And then Thanos is on the wall and freaking starts, I don't know whether to call this an ass kicking, an ass thrashing, I don't know what to call it. He freaking beats Hulk to the point where he starts bleeding. Freaking Hulk bleeding! I know! What? Anyway, he freaking beats up Hulk to the point where he freaking crushes him on the ground and everything. Freaking gives him the John Cena, It's crazy, man. Anyway, he's on the ground, and Loki's freaking hiding somewhere and everything. And at the time, Ebony Maw kind of binds Thor and also binds his mouth with some sort of metallic objects from the ship. And Thanos crashes the Tesseract, freaking puts the Space Stone. At the time, he already had the Power Stone. So, he had already gone to the Nova Corps and everything and got the Power Stone. So, because at the end of the Guardians movie, the first Guardians movie, they left it with, the Nova Corps. So, he has the Space Stone. And now, Loki starts approaching Thanos and he's telling him, "I, Loki, will serve you till death or whatever and everything." And Thor is looking at him like, "Are you serious, man?" You know, that time he's like freaking binded to the mouth, but I'm pretty sure that's what he was saying. So now he looks at Thor and everything, and then freaking he he like forms a hidden dagger and tries to stab Thanos. But Thanos stops him with the Infinity Gauntlet. Freaking stops him in his tracks, and you know, Thanos is like, "Oh, okay, you'll serve me till death, huh?" So he freaking grabs Loki by no. In fact, before that, Hulk is beaten down, right? So I don't know why I keep I'm just gonna warn you right now. There's some points in the movie I'm gonna skip. I don't know. I may not be able to cover everything, or I may forget something. But just let me know in the comment section. You know what points I forgot and everything, because I'm kind of I'll be talking about the movie all jumbled up. You know, I'm just telling you right now. So before Loki tries to stop Thanos, Hulk is on the ground. So Heimdall he uses the last of his power. He sends Hulk to Earth, right? So now Thanos sees this. He takes the sword, freaking stabs Heimdall in the chest. First death of the movie. First death, Heimdall. Anyway, man. Anyway, moving on. It's really sad, man. The characters we've grown with start freaking dying. Anyway, moving on. We go to now the point where Loki tries to stab Thanos in the throat. And Thanos stops him and he's like, "Till death, huh? Okay." So he freaking grabs Loki by the neck. He grabs Loki by the neck and then he chokes Loki. Freaking choking him. He's choking Loki and everything. He's choking him. And Loki mentions to him and he tells him, one of his last words is like, "You'll never be a god." And Thor is like, "No, no." Freaking. And his eyes were literally red. Like he was choking him to the point where his eyes looked like they were about to pop out, like literally. So you just hear the freaking breaks his neck. Loki falls to the ground dead, nose bleeding and everything, and it was crazy. Thor is like, "No, freaking shove my size 13 boot up your ass, man. When I get out of this, I'm gonna freaking kill you." But yeah, so Thanos, puts the glove up in the air, freaking burns the whole ship, and then boom. And this is just the first 10 minutes of the movie. Niggas are already dying in the first 10 minutes of this movie. Anyway, moving on. We go now to Earth. Hulk lands on Earth. He lands in the Sanctum Sanctorum. Doctor Strange looks like he's about to go somewhere. He's dressed in his casual clothes and he's talking to Wong. And then all of a sudden, boom, boom, Sorry about the sound effects, but anyway. Hulk lands and he's like, "Thanos is coming. Thanos." He turns into Bruce Banner though. And he's like, "Thanos is coming. Thanos is coming." So now we cut to Iron Man or Tony and Pepper are jogging. They're jogging through the park and everything. And it looked like they were on that particular day. It looked like they were about to get married. Actually, they were talking about their wedding was supposed to be on that day, I think. So Iron Man is wearing the core for the bleeding edge armor, I think, and Pepper is telling him, in fact, it's weird. Tony had like a dream the previous day about him and Pepper having a kid and stuff. He was, I mean, maybe it could happen. Who knows? Maybe. But yeah, he was having a dream about that, and Pepper is telling him, so like, if you've left this, avenging life behind and everything, why are you still wearing this and everything? And Tony's telling him, it's just to protect us. It's just to protect in case anything happens. In case anything happens, yeah, it's just to protect me and you and everything. Then they're about to share a kiss and everything, and then all of a sudden Doctor Strange pops up in a portal, and he's like, "Tony Stark, we need your help." And then he's like, "Who's we?" And then Bruce comes out of the portal too, and it's like, Tony is freaking scared out of his mind, man. He's like, Tony freaking goes and hugs Iron Man. He really needed a hug though. I mean, Bruce really needed a hug after what he just witnessed. He really needed a hug, or rather, what Hulk witnessed anyway. So they're in the Sanctum now. Wong is explaining to Tony about all of the Infinity Stones and everything. Telling him about the stones, and then Tony's like, "Tell me his name again," and Bruce is like, it's Thanos and everything, and it's Thanos, and he has already 2 of the Infinity Stones, and if he gets off, if he gets all the others, he's gonna wipe out the entire universe. The attack on New York, that was him, Tony, that was him. you know, he's the one who sent Loki and everything. And you know, Tony's like, this is it. Yeah, this is the moment where I had this is it. This is it, man. This is it. So now and then Doctor Strange, he has like a really the rivalry between Iron Man and Doctor Strange in this movie was really good actually. Like their moments were really awesome. So you know, Bruce is like, we need to call in all the Avengers. We need to call in the rest of them. And Tony's like, yeah, about that. Yeah, we kind of broke up. And then you know, Bruce is like, broke up. Like what? Like the Beatles? Like the Beatles? Like, well, what are you talking about, man? It was really funny, man. Oh my god. So like, you know, Bruce just tells him, it doesn't matter. Like whether it doesn't matter who you talk to or whatever. The world is about to end, man. It is about to end, and it doesn't matter who you're talking to, but we need to call in everybody. So then we fast forward to no, before that. So Tony pulls out the phone that Cap gave him at the end of Civil War, and he's about to dial a number, and all of a sudden you just hear you know, you just hear some noises, right? And then freaking Doctor Strange's hair is moving, and Iron Man is like, Doc, are you making your hair move by itself? And he's like, no. So then they go outside, and it's freaking Ebony Maw and Cull Obsidian have arrived with one of their ships, you know. So now, at this part really killed me. Like, you know, Tony's like, I'm sorry, you took a wrong turn, blah, 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 you know, you need to go back home where you came from, Squidward. Oh my god. He freaking called Ebony Maw Squidward, man. That part really killed me. The whole theater went crazy when they heard that, man. It was really funny. Because he kind of does look like Squidward. It's crazy. All he needs now is, you know, anyway. So, Hulk, I mean, not Hulk, anyway, Iron Man, I'm sorry, my mind is all jumbled up. Tony tells Bruce, you know, we need the Hulk right now. It's about that time. We need the Hulk. So, you know, he's trying to get him. He's like, oh, okay, let's go. You know, he's doing his best. He's like, oh, okay, it's not working. I'm trying our best. And then, you know, Tony's like, okay, it looks like you haven't, but, you know, just take 5. And then Wong takes him to like a park or something, Central Park or something. And then Iron Man, you know, releases the bleeding edge. Oh my god, that moment was so epic. Oh Jesus, it was really epic. Really epic. That moment was crazy. So now he goes after Cull Obsidian, and Doctor Strange starts fighting Ebony Maw. So they're fighting. And you know, they fight. Ebony Maw kind of binds up Doctor Strange, plants him to a building upside down, and then you know, Ebony Maw tries to get the time stone, and you know, it kind of burns him, you know, because Doctor Strange is smart. He put a binding spell over the thing, you know, like a protective spell over the you know, the Infinity Stone. So, you know, so now Ebony Maw knocks Doctor Strange out. He's kind of bringing him to the ship, right? And then Iron Man is still fighting Cull Obsidian, and then Cull Obsidian is about to, you know, deliver the finishing blow to Iron Man, and then our boy comes in, Spidey. He blocks the thing, and he's like, "Hey, man!" And you know, he's like, they're fighting, and then Spider-Man sees Doctor Strange being carried away by Ebony Maw, and then Tony Stark is like, "That's the wizard. Go get him, man." Okay, he's like, "Okay, Mr. Stark." So he goes, you know, webbing, freaking grabs Doctor Strange, and you know, webs up like a lamppost, and he's freaking grabbing. He's like, yeah, and then the lamppost gives out, it breaks out the ground, freaking heads to now then because Ebony Maw is like literally carrying him like with his powers, you know, he's like literally levitating off the ground. So like he's carrying Spider-Man and Doctor Strange everywhere to the, you know, to the ship, right? So now, you know, Spider-Man is like, "Mr. Stark, help, blah blah blah," you know, he's going. He's on the ship and it's leaving Earth, so like he's kind of losing he can't breathe. So now Iron Man is you know, he manages to finish the fight with Cull Obsidian. So he goes into space. You know, he tells Friday to launch something or the other. The numbers, I don't know, remember the numbers. And it's the freaking Iron Spider suit, man. Oh my god, the way it came on. Spider-Man was crazy. It was crazy because he couldn't breathe. He was like, oh. So then he was like, once he got the Iron Spider suit, he was like, "Mr. Stark, it smells like a new car in here." It smells like a new car. It's crazy, man. Oh my god. And then at that moment, Tony Stark freaking you know, activates his parachute, and he's like, "Oh, come on!" So he freaking flies off the ship. But he, you know, Spider-Man, you know, he webs, and then he hangs on to the ship. So now, cut 2. We are on No. We're on the ship, right? We're still on the ship. No. Before that, okay. So now, cut 2. we're in Scotland, right, where Vision and Wanda, Scarlet Witch, they've been spending time together and everything, and they're kind of having a romantic relationship and everything, and they head out of the bedroom and everything, and they're on the way to a diner, and at that moment somebody stabs Vision in the back, and it's Corvus Glaive. He stabs Vision in the back, and also Proxima Midnight are there. So now they're fighting both Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive. So Wanda is fighting Proxima Midnight. Vision is trying to hold off Corvus Glaive. So they're fighting on buildings, and this is in Scotland, by the way. They're fighting, and Vision is so weak because he got literally stabbed through the back by Corvus Glaive. So now they end up in the subway. So now Vision is on the ground. He's so weak, and Wanda is, she's like, trying to defend him and everything. And Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive are over there, and it's 2 against 1. And then all of a sudden, you hear the Avengers theme music. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Oh my god! And then behind the train, you see a silhouette, and it's freaking Captain America. He's back, baby, with the beard and everything. Anyway, he freaking comes. Black Widow runs up to Proxima Midnight, takes her staff or whatever, stabs Corvus Glaive, and then pins him to the ground and everything. And it was crazy. That was a badass scene. Falcon comes in, kicks Proxima Midnight. Oh my god, it was a crazy fight. And then one of the best lines of the movie, Black Widow comes up to Proxima Midnight and she's like, "We don't want to kill you, but we will." Oh my god, how badass can you be to say that, man? Damn. Anyway, fast forward to so now the Black Order, Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight, they retreat for the time. excuse me. They retreat for the time being, and then Cap helps up Vision, and Vision is like, "Thank you, Captain," and everything. So now, meanwhile, at the Avengers facility upstate, Rhodey is talking to General Ross and telling him, blah blah blah, you think you can just bring them in and everything after all that happened and everything. Then Cap comes in, and General Ross sees him. And he's like, "You think just because the world is ending and everything, you can just come up here and you think everything is forgiven?" And Cap gives him some sort of badass line. And he's like, I'm not here for forgiveness. I'm not. I'm here to get the shit done. The world is coming to an end, so we need to get together and do the shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Peace out. So it's crazy. So now General Ross, Rhodey ends the call. It was like a holographic kind of call. He ends the call and everything. So now we fast forward to Wakanda, where T'Challa is walking through the street, through some sort of place, valley, whatever. He's walking in Wakanda, and he goes to where Bucky is, and Bucky looks like he's cutting down some wood, and some of the people of one of the warriors of Wakanda is carrying like some sort of briefcase and everything, puts it there, and Bucky opens it and he sees it's a new vibranium arm. Yes, vibranium. Bucky is back. Freaking designed a new arm for him and everything, which we already knew. But anyway, Bucky tells him, he's like, "Where's the war?" And then T'Challa is like, "Yeah, it is coming. It is coming. The war is coming." So we fast forward to the ship. So Ebony Maw has Doctor Strange still, impaled. He's like impaling. He has him trapped and everything. Imprisoned rather, and he's impaling him with this spiky looking things, crystal looking things in his face and everything. It's crazy. So now Iron Man and Spidey come up with a plan to free Doctor Strange. Freaking shoots the ship, and like a whole, this time they're in space at the time, mind you. They're in the ship. So now he shoots the ship, and Ebony Maw gets pulled out, gets sucked out of the ship, and he freaking freezes like outside the ship. And then Iron Man quickly uses the nanites or whatever, breaches the hole and closes the hole, whatever, and so that nobody else can get sucked out. So that's how Ebony Maw dies. I know, it's crazy. One of the strongest people, freaking dies like that. Anyway, we fast forward. Doctor Strange is like, "Okay, now we need to change the trajectory of the ship and take us back to Earth now." So now Iron Man is like, Or just hear me out. Listen, man, why are you not hearing me out? Just hear me out. Listen. Okay. We could take the fight to him. And Doctor Strange is like, "I'm sorry, what? Like, what? So now Iron Man explains himself. He's like, the best place to fight him is where we take the fight to him. We go to his. We fight there. And Doctor Strange understands and everything, and they decide, okay, fine, let's go do it there. So now we fast forward to the Guardians. So now Peter Quill, they're going. They were responding to the distress call that their Guardians sent, and Peter Quill is over there. He's freaking driving, is enjoying his jams and everything, and all the Guardians are there. Freaking Groot is playing his video games and stuff, and they enter. They reach the place where the war happened, with the Asgardians and everything. You see bodies everywhere floating in space. It's crazy. And then Thor face plants onto their windscreen. Oh yeah, it's crazy. And then Rocket is like, wipers, get it off. It's crazy. It's funny. Anyway, they come. He enters the ship. They bring Thor into the ship and everything. And Peter is like, how did this dude survive? And then Drax is like, this is not a dude. You're a dude. This is a man. A handsome, muscular man. And I'm like, wait, what? It's weird. Anyway, Gamora starts touching his muscles and everything. And then Peter is like, stop massaging his muscles. Like, okay. And then he tells Mantis, wake him up. So now Thor wakes up. He's like, who the hell are you guys? And everything. And he's like, so now Thor explains to him what happened with Thanos and everything. And then Gamora starts telling Thor, the entire time she knew Thanos, he only ever had one goal, and that was to wipe out half of humanity and everything. And, Thor is like, how do you know so much about Thanos and everything? And then Peter tells him, she's the daughter of Thanos. Thor wakes up like he's pissed off. He's like, what did you say? So he walks up to Gamora and he looks like he's about to beat her up. And then he's like, I understand. He freaking taps her on the shoulder and he's like, I understand. I have a crazy family too. I found out just recently I have a crazy sister who I didn't know about, and my father's dead, and I have a crazy brother who always used to betray me in every turn, everywhere, he used to betray me and everything. So he understands. So Thor explains to them about where the other two Infinity Stones are. The Time Stone and the Mind Stone are safe on Earth. They're being protected by the Avengers. And Peter's like, the who? And he's like, the Avengers, they are Earth's mightiest heroes and everything. So Thor comes up with a plan, and he's like, I have to go to the planet of the dwarves. I don't know what it's called. I forgot the name. Just let me know in the comment section. So the planet of the dwarves, he goes with Rocket and Groot. They come up with a plan to go there so that Thor can forge his new hammer, the Stormbreaker. So now they go, that team of the Guardians goes with Thor to the planet of the dwarves, and Drax, Mantis, the other team of the Guardians, Drax, Mantis, Peter Quill, and Gamora, they go to Nowhere, where Thanos is heading to go get the Reality Stone. So now we get to Nowhere, the Guardians are over there, and they're hiding, and they can see Thanos is talking to the Collector. He's freaking, stomping on his chest and everything. And he's like asking, where's the Reality Stone? You're bad at lying, blah, blah, blah. And then Drax is pissed off. Once he saw Thanos, he's like, I can finally avenge my family. And then, Peter is like, Mantis, Mantis makes him sleep. He falls to the ground and makes a huge noise. Bam! Thanos looks back, and he finally, he hears them. So now, Peter, like, he's telling Gamora, he's like, make sure you go right, okay? So Gamora didn't listen. She went the other way, and she goes after Thanos, freaking stabs him in the neck, and he's like, oh, my child, why would you do that? He falls to the ground and then dies. Then Peter is like, wait, so that was easy? That's it? Like, even I was like, wait, that's it? And I was like, nah, there's no way. So then all of a sudden, you just see this transition happen. It's crazy. You just see this red transition going like that, and it was like a whole reality that Thanos had created using the Reality Stone, which he already got. It was crazy. I did not see that coming. Man. It was crazy. So now Thanos grabs Gamora. But before we get to EC, now this is one of the moments I was talking about. I tend to skip a lot of things, There's so much to talk about, So before that, Gamora had originally told Peter that, Thanos is going to want her for something, because she knows something that Thanos wants. And Thanos is going to try and get her. So before that, when that time comes, Peter needs to kill her. And Peter was really hesitant. He's like, no, come on, I can't do that. But she finally managed to convince him and tell him, you need to kill me, because if he gets his hands on this information that I have, we're all going to die, okay? So, yeah. So now, fast forward back to where we were. Thanos grabs Gamora, and Peter is like, "You let her go, you nutsack chin looking bastard." I don't know. That's exactly what he said. I'm serious. So like he has his blaster pointed towards Thanos, and then Gamora's like, "No, no, 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 not him, me, shoot me." Then he's looking at Gamora. It's like, "I told you to go right. I told you to go right, man." So then, Thanos is like, the boyfriend. So, Peter is like, "I told you to go right. I told you." So now he's pointing the gun at Gamora, and, he was like, "I told you to go right, man." So now he finally manages to get the balls to do it, and he finally does. He finally pulls the trigger, but Thanos turns the blast into bubbles. It's really crazy. Turns the blast into bubbles and everything, and then he's like, "Oh, so he was actually going to do it. He was actually going to kill Gamora." So Thanos and Gamora, Thanos takes Gamora to the Space Stone, and they leave, and they end up on Thanos's planet, and Gamora is over there. She's seated on the ground. Thanos brings her a cup of food, and then she throws it at the throne where Thanos sits, the chair where Thanos sits, and everything. So apparently, this I didn't see this coming. Apparently, Thanos had originally sent Gamora to find the whereabouts of the Soul Stone. So she was refusing. She would refuse that completely to tell him where it was. She said she doesn't know and everything. But now she takes Gamora to this room where Nebula had originally reached there and tried to kill Thanos. If you remember in the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Volume 2, she said she was going to find Thanos, go find him, kill him, and everything. She almost succeeded. In fact, that's what Thanos says. But she didn't manage. So she's being tortured over there and everything. And Gamora says, Thanos rather says, he's like, if you don't tell me what I want to know, I'm gonna kill your sister. I'm gonna kill her. So she's like, I don't know, and he continues torturing Nebula and everything. And then Gamora is like, I don't know where it is. So now Thanos accesses Nebula's past video memories or whatever, and sees like a holographic video of Nebula telling Gamora, Thanos he's about to start his plan and everything. He's finally going to start gathering all the stones and everything. And Gamora's like, I burnt the map to the Soul Stone. You'll never find it, okay? You'll never find it. I made sure of that. And then Gamora's like, oh god, okay, fine. So now Thanos, Gamora finally agrees, because he was going to kill Nebula. So she finally agrees, and she tells Thanos that the Soul Stone is on a planet called Vameria. I think that's the name, Vameria, I think. So they go to Vameria. Gamora takes Thanos to Vameria. Oh man, I'm so scattered. I'm sorry. So they get to Vameria, and it's like a planet, deserted planet. Nobody's there except one person, which I did not see coming. This actually fixes one of the biggest plot holes in the past Marvel movies. But anyway, we'll get to that. So we're walking up. Gamora and Thanos are walking and walking. So they get to the top of the cliff or whatever, and then there's this guy in a cloak, and he recognizes him. He's like, Gamora and Thanos and blah blah blah. And he's like, Thanos is like, you know us? And he's like, it is my curse to know everything about everybody. And then he comes out of the shadows, and it's freaking Red Skull. I know, freaking Red Skull. I had no idea, because if you remember in Captain America, the first Avenger, he didn't die. He just the Tesseract transported him somewhere. He didn't die. So he ended up on Vameria. I had no idea. Wow, I did not see that one coming. So Thanos asks him, "Where's the Soul Stone?" And then Red Skull tells him, it's the Soul Stone is here, sure, but it comes at a great price. A great price. The price is you have to sacrifice the life of the person you love to be able to get the Soul Stone. So now Gamora looks at Thanos and she's like, "Wow, wow." I knew there was a point, the universe would turn its back on you. She said something along those lines, and she's like, "This is it, because you don't love anything, you don't love anybody, and this is what you deserve. You deserve this." So now, and this is how it is. Thanos is standing on the cliff, Gamora is behind him, and Red Skull is on his right. Yeah, is on his right. So now, after she said this, I was in awe at this moment. After she said this, Thanos turns around and he's freaking crying. I'm gonna say that again. Thanos is crying while he's looking at Gamora. I couldn't believe it, man. I could not believe it. And then at that moment it clicked and it hit me. He's actually about to kill her. He's about to kill Gamora. Because now Gamora was like, are you really? Really? You're crying? Really? Who are you crying for? Are you crying for yourself, huh? And then Red Skull tells him, those tears aren't for him. They're for you. They're for Gamora. And she's looked puzzled. And she's like, you really expect me to believe that you love me? That you love me? Really? You love nothing. And then Thanos is still crying. He's like, I'm sorry, my child. This moment was, oh my God, even talking about it now, I don't even know how I'm gonna manage. But Thanos goes, he grabs Gamora by the hand, and they're on a cliff. He grabs her by the hand and freaking throws her off the cliff. And she falls in some, God, it's a really sad moment, man. He throws her off the cliff, freaking lands on the ground, and she dies. That's right. Gamora dies. I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that. Anyway, we move on to Thanos wakes up in like a puddle of water, and he has the Soul Stone in his hand, and he puts it in the gauntlet. And those are 4 down, 2 to go. So we fast forward to Titan. Now before they get there, Spidey, Doctor Strange, and Iron Man, they're on their way to Titan, and then they meet up with the Guardians of the Galaxy, the remaining members, Drax, Peter Quill, Mantis, and they're over there and they're fighting each other because they both think that they're both teams think that each team works for Thanos. So like they're fighting, and then Iron Man has Drax pinned down and he's about to shoot his head off, and Spider-Man is being choked by Peter Quill, and Peter Quill has a gun to his head, and the reason I'm laughing is because I remembered something Drax said. It's like when he was on the ground by being pinned by Iron Man. I forgot what he said, but it's really funny. That moment was really funny. If you watch the movie, those of you who watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. When he's pinned to the ground and he's like, "I'll do you one better." What something or the other. I forgot what he said. Oh my God! But it was really funny. Both teams, finally managed to establish that they're not working for Thanos. These are the Avengers. In fact, Peter has the gun to Spider-Man's head, and he's like, "We're the Avengers, man." And he's like, "What?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, the people Thor talked about. Oh okay." So the teams come to an agreement and everything, and everything is settled. So they land on Titan, and they're in a group, except Doctor Strange. All of them are in a group. So Mantis, Drax, Peter Quill, Star-Lord rather, Spider-Man, and did I mention Drax? Anyway, they're in a group except Doctor. All of those people are in a group except Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is in an area by himself meditating or something. So they're talking and they're trying to come up with a plan and everything. And then Mantis notices that Doctor Strange is looking kind of funny. Have you guys watched The Matrix? You know the way when the agents are shot, they dodge the bullets and you see multiple versions of them. That's what will happen. That was what was happening to Doctor Strange, but now with his head. Freaking going crazy, man. And Mantis is like, "Is your friend okay?" And then Iron Man is like, "What's going on?" So Doctor Strange comes out of the thing that he was doing, and he's like, "I went forward in time to see all possible outcomes." And Peter asks him, "How many outcomes did you see?" And he's like, 14,000 something and the other. I'm like, 14,000 out? What? 14,000? And then the crazy part was, that wasn't even the crazy part. The crazy part was Iron Man asks him, "Did we win any?" And Doctor Strange says, "Yes. One outcome out of not 40, 14,000 of them. They only won one scenario, one. Oh my goodness, wow. Anyway, they're coming up with a plan and everything. So now, now let's cut to Captain America and the rest are heading to Wakanda, where it's Rhodey, Bruce Banner, Cap, Falcon, Black Widow. They're all heading to Wakanda, so that they came up with a plan, and they were like, they need to remove the Mind Stone from Vision's head, and Wanda is going to destroy it. But that won't kill Vision, because his personality, I think, is made up of Bruce Banner, Iron Man, and Jarvis. So he'll still be alive, just without the Mind Stone. So that was the plan. So Shuri was supposed to work on that and, get the Mind Stone out of him safely. So that was the plan. So, but apparently they didn't have much time. So Black Panther was like, activate the gate, engage all defenses, and get this man a shield. Because now, Proxima Midnight and Cal Obsidian had reached Wakanda, and they were like, the barrier, they were behind the barrier, So now they're heading to the battlefield on some cool ass hover ship looking things that were taking them to the battlefield. And the Dora Milaje are there, and Bruce Banner's in the Hulkbuster, and then at a point he trips and falls down, and then Okoye gives him one of those looks like, really, nigga? Really? Like, really? So like, they head to there, and they're all in a line, and then M'Baku is there, and he's like, hyping up the soldiers and everything. He's like, and everything, we can do this, everything. And Black Panther comes up to him and he's like, my brother, thank you for fighting with us, and he's like, yeah, anytime, brother. And it's like, it's cool, they're cool now. If you watch Black Panther, they're cool now, they both of them are, they fight together now. Wakanda is a one unit. So they're on the battlefield. Proxima Midnight and Cal Obsidian are on the other side of the barrier. So Cap, Black Widow, and Black Panther go to talk to them and ask them, so are you gonna surrender? And they're saying, Proxima Midnight is like, there's no way we're gonna surrender without us getting that stone. The only way we surrender is like, with we're not surrendering. We're getting that stone. So now Black Panther's like, he freaking gives her a comeback, and it's like, you're in Wakanda now. The only way that this ends is with bloodshed. And then Proxima Midnight is like, well, we have blood to spare. Now there's no good comeback for that. There isn't. There's no good comeback for that, because like all of a sudden, remember the creatures that we saw in the trailer? She releases all of them. At this moment, Cap and Black Panther and everything, they went back to the line, the army line, the line of the army and everything. Bucky asks, so are they gonna surrender? And Cap is like, no way, nope. So now they release those creatures, and they're going towards the barrier and everything, and they're killing themselves. They're freaking trying to enter the barrier. Their heads are getting cut off. Their arms are getting cut off. They're not managing to enter the barrier. And Black Panther is hyping out. He's like, Ibombe, Ibombe, Ibombe. Everybody's hyped and everything. So the creature starts circling around the barrier, going to where Vision is and where Shuri is working on Vision. And Wanda, I was about to say Wakanda, I don't know why. Wanda is, she's Vision's bodyguard. She's the bodyguard over there, in case anybody tries anything, She's protecting Vision and Shuri from anything. Shuri works on everything. So, Black Panther is like, he's like, okay, if they go, in that direction, they're gonna get to Vision and everybody else. So he's like, on my signal, you release the barrier. So now, the chick is like, wait, what? I'm sorry, my king. What did you say? You heard me. So now he's waiting for his moment. And then the mask goes all over him, and then he starts running. Everybody's like running. There's this scene where Captain America and Black Panther are running. Black Panther is actually faster. Okay, he was. We already knew this. Okay, but kinda. In Civil War, when they were running, Cap couldn't even reach him. But what? It's crazy. So they're running, and they jump, and they start fighting together. It's so awesome. Anyway, so now, Black Panther is running, and it's like, release the barrier now. And then, the creatures are coming and everything, so they're fighting, and everything. And, the fight for Wakanda begins. That's how it begins. All right, cut 2. We're on Titan now. Thanos arrives, and he has all 4 stones, and he's here for the time stone that Doctor Strange has. Doctor Strange meets him. All of the other, all of the rest of the teams are hiding. Like the people who are with Doctor Strange, they're hiding. And Thanos is talking to Doctor Strange, telling him, blah 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 blah. And then Doctor Strange tells Thanos now that we are gonna stop you. And Thanos is like, we. Okay, now one thing I should mention about Titan, the gravity is kind of divided. So like there are some parts of the planet that have gravity and some parts that don't. So now there's this floating stone up in the air, and Iron Man pushes it down and he smashes Thanos on it. So now everybody comes out, from hiding and everything, and Mantis jumps up, grabs Thanos by the head, and tries to subdue him in his mind, and Spider-Man jumps out of out of the hiding place, blah blah blah, tries to grab the Infinity Gauntlet. Him and Iron Man are trying to remove it. Nebula comes too, and she also tries to fight Thanos and everything. And they finally manage to trap him somehow, right? So now they're trying to remove the gauntlet, right? Trying to remove it, and then Mantis is talking about how Thanos is feeling pain and he's pain and anguish and everything. He's angry and he's sad and everything. And then Peter is like, wait, what? Peter Quill. He's like, Star-Lord. He's like, what? Why would he be feeling that? Like what? Why? And Nebula is like, Gamora. Then Peter looks at Nebula and is like, wait, what? And Nebula explains, like, when they were on Thanos' planet, he left with Gamora, and the fact that she's not here means that, yeah. And Peter is like, no, tell me, no. Tell me she's lying. Tell me she's lying. And then Thanos is, he's like, I had to do it, Now, at this moment, I didn't like this moment. I didn't. Because they were so close to removing the gauntlet. Here's what Star-Lord did. He gets pissed off. And I understand. And, he gets pissed off. And Iron Man is like, look, man. We're almost done. Please, I understand how you're feeling, man. Just don't do it. Don't do it, man. Come on, man. We're almost done here. But, he couldn't let them finish. So Peter gets pissed off and he starts hitting Thanos on the face. And then, Mantis loses her grip and Thanos, regains consciousness and he starts kicking ass and beating everyone. Boom, 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 boom. He gets pissed off, freaking grabs a moon with the Infinity Gauntlet and freaking throws it at them. And, the meteors coming from the sky and everything, it crashes everybody. Everybody's knocked out. Meanwhile, our boy Spidey, he's over there trying to save them and with the Iron Spider suit and the freaking tentacles and everything. Oh, that's so cool. I loved it, man. I loved it so much. So he's helping everybody, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man." He freaking saves Mantis, Drax, and everybody's like, "I'm sorry, guys. I can't remember your names, but hey, here you go." So it's so awesome. So he saves everyone, and everybody is on the ground and everything, and then it's now the fight between Iron Man and Thanos, and no. Oh, I forgot to mention, Doctor Strange is fighting too. In fact, he's fighting too. Before we get to the fight with Iron, my God, Doctor Strange was epic in this fight. Epic. It was so epic in this fight. But before we get to this fight, before I go any further, you see, I've already forgotten something very important. What about Thor, Rocket, and Groot? Why would I? Anyway, I'm sorry. My mind is scattered. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. So, let's fast forward now to let's backtrack actually back to where Thor and Rocket and Groot, they get to the planet of the dwarves, and the dwarf was actually Peter Dinklage. That was so cool. I had no idea he was in the movie. It was so cool. He's a huge dwarf, man. He's freaking huge. So now the dying star. Apparently Thanos had gone there before. The dwarves are the ones who forged for him the Infinity Gauntlet, and he killed every one of them. So Peter Dinklage was the only dwarf left, and he freaking cut off his hands, the dwarf's hands, and he had to replace them with metallic ones and something like that. So now the dying star that Mjolnir was created from was actually, at the time it was not working or something like that. And now Thor had to manually restart it again. So Rocket helped him do that, and he managed to restart the dying star, and that helped with the forging. So now he managed to do that. However, the furnace or whatever, it closed. So now Thor had to go there and manually open it so that he could quickly forge the hammer, the Stormbreaker hammer for him, and give it to Thor, right? So Thor is there, he's like holding open the thing, and he's getting burnt by a star. Damn, man, Thor is crazy. Thor is awesome. So now he's freaking body. You can see the meat and everything being, freaking fried and everything. He's freaking fried everywhere, and then he freaking loses consciousness and drops to the ground. And then, but he manages to forge the hammer. And then, he's like, Thor is dying at this point, because he got burnt so much. He's dying at this point. So he's like, the dwarf is like, I've managed to forge the hammer. Where's the handle? Help me find the handle. He's telling Rocket and Groot. And then Groot is looking at Thor and is like so sad. It's like, oh my God, no, 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 And so Groot uses his vines and actually creates the handle for Thor. He grabs the hammer, creates the handle, freaking breaks it, and then you can see lightning on Thor's hands. Freaking grabs the hammer, those are not the sound effects, but you know what I'm getting at here, right? So so Thor gets his new hammer, heads to Wakanda, fights everyone. He's back. Thor is back. He goes there with Rocket and Groot. And, he's there, they're fighting, and he's like, bring me Thanos! It's freaking awesome, man. It was so cool. So now, cut 2, we are on Titan. Doctor Strange is fighting Thanos, freaking does the freaking shadow clone jutsu thing. I don't know what, freaking multiplies himself. Is fighting Thanos and everything, but he couldn't manage to do it. Thanos knocks him out. Then we get to the fight between Iron Man and Thanos. So Iron Man is fighting Thanos by himself. He's fighting. Oh my God, the bleeding edge armor is so awesome, man. Thanos rips off his helmet, his helmet, nanites, build him a new one. It's crazy, man. So fighting. And then the moment that almost made me lose my shit. The moment that I was at the edge of my seat. Iron Man creates a blade. Thanos breaks it, freaking stabs Iron Man with it. I'm gonna say that again. Freaking stabs Iron Man with the blade. And Iron Man falls to the ground. He's like, there's freaking... Jeez, this is crazy. Man, so Thanos was about to give... He didn't die though. He was about to die. So Thanos was about to give him the finishing blow. And Doctor Strange comes out of nowhere. He's like, stop. Okay. You can have the stone. Just spare his life. Just here, take it. So he freaking pulls it out of nowhere, like the way Loki did. I don't know how he did that. I don't know how they do that. It's so cool. Pulls it out of nowhere, freaking levitates it to Thanos. Thanos takes it, puts it. Now he has 5. And that's it. Thanos has all 5. Now he's heading, So now, okay, he gets the Infinity Stone. So now Peter is so pissed off. He's like, flying at Thanos, shooting him with his blasters. And then Thanos quickly jumps into one of the portals, escapes with the Space Stone, right? And Peter is like, so, are you telling me that's it? Are you telling me we lost? And at that moment, I was like, come on, man, they lost because of you. But anyway, I mean, if it was me and, the person I love got killed, I would have done the same thing, I guess. But I kind of feel like it kind of cost them. They were about to remove the gauntlet, man. Spidey and Iron Man were so close. Anyway, Iron Man is telling Doctor Strange, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that, man. And then Doctor Strange tells him, it's the end game. Don't worry about it. It's the end game. Yeah, he didn't actually say don't worry about it. He said it's the end game. Okay. So now we fast forward to Wakanda. Proxima Midnight is fighting Okoye and Black Widow. She released this kind of drilling sort of machine things. And then Scarlet Witch saw that and she was like, wow, this is getting serious. So she, briefly left Shuri and Vision, and landed on the battlefield. And she freaking stopped them and freaking sent them in, different directions. Freaking sliced up all those creatures, the creatures. Freaking sliced up all of them. And then Okoye looks at her. He looks and says, why was she up there all this time when she could have helped us? And he's like, what? That moment was so crazy, man. It was so crazy. So now, it's Proxima Midnight. Basically, it was a cat fight. Proxima Midnight, Okoye, Black Widow, and Scarlet Witch are fighting. So now, they're fighting. Scarlet Witch times it. She freaking grabs Proxima Midnight, looks at one of the drilling things. She throws her up there. She gets sliced into little pieces. It was really crazy, man. Wow, that's how she dies. So, yeah, that's 2 of the Black Order down. So, Meanwhile, Corvus Glaive is, is sneaky, going to where Shuri and Vision are, freaking kills some of the warriors of Wakanda who are bodyguards who are, protecting Vision and everything. And Shuri puts on one of her gloves, she shoots him, and then Corvus Glaive shoots a blast, I think, and then blows up Shuri's lab, and she goes out the window or something. But now the only question that remains now, what happens to her? After that, we don't find out anything about her. Like, she just disappeared after that. I don't know where Shuri is now. Nobody knows. Anyway, Vision is fighting Corvus Glaive, and he's trying his best to hold him back. Meanwhile, Bruce Banner is fighting Cull Obsidian. He's fighting, and he's trying to get Hulk out. He's like, "Come on, man, come on, let's do it." And Hulk is still, "No, no." You know what? We don't see Hulk at any point in this movie. I mean, except the beginning. After the beginning scene and everything, we don't see him again. We don't see him in Wakanda. That part in the trailer where he's running with all the Avengers and everything. We don't see him again after that. It's crazy. But he's like, no, 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 no. He's freaking still scared. And then Bruce is like, "Oh, screw you, you selfish bastard. I'll just do it myself." And then freaking at the time, Cull Obsidian had cut off one of the Hulkbuster's arms and it was on the ground. So Bruce Banner grabs it, connects it to Cull Obsidian's hands, and then freaking shoots him up into the sky. And then he freaking grinds against the barrier, lands on the barrier and freaking grinding on it, blah 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 blah, and then freaking turns into ashes or whatever, freaking gets burnt by the barrier, and that's how he dies. So yeah, so all of them are dead except Corvus Glaive. So now Vision is fighting off Corvus Glaive, and I think Falcon is the one who mentions we need someone on Vision. Someone on Vision. Vision needs help. So Cap goes there. Freaking fights Corvus Glaive. Everything, and he gets taken down a bit, and then Corvus Glaive is about to finish off Cap, and then from the back, Vision stabs Corvus Glaive with his own blade, and then freaking kills him. Bam! That's how Corvus Glaive dies. So now Vision is on the ground and everything is like, and then Wanda comes to his aid and helps him out a bit, and then all of a sudden Vision is like, he's coming, and then you just hear this. So like I don't even know what I'm looking for the word here. This crazy ass music of evil. You just hear this crazy ass music and evil music, and just Thanos coming out of one of the the Space Stone portals, walking in. He's walking in, and the first person to attack him was Bruce Banner with the Hulkbuster. Freaking got pinned to a wall. Falcon comes in, gets bit. Rhodey comes in, bam. Bucky comes in, bam. It's like they was all trying to hold him back. Freaking Cap comes in. He's trying to, hold him back with the fists and everything. Like we saw in the trailer, remember? He was holding him back and everything. Meanwhile, Vision is telling Scarlet Witch, is like, you have to do it. You have to destroy it. You have to destroy it. We don't have any time. We are out of time. Everything, And she's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. He's like, come on. You're the only one who can do it. You're the one. I won't feel anything. It's okay. It's okay. So she finally managed to get the guts to do it. And she, she blasts Vision in the forehead, where the Infinity Stone is, the Mind Stone. Freaking blasting him. And meanwhile, Cap is still holding back Thanos, and then I don't know how Cap doesn't have brain damage after this, but as he's doing this, freaking Thanos gives him one right hook, I think, boom, right to the face. Freaking Cap is like, freaking knocks him out, man. It was crazy. I don't know how Cap doesn't have brain damage right now. But anyway, the rest of the Avengers try to hold him back, doesn't work. And then, Wanda is almost close to finishing, destroying Vision, and then she freaking shoots another blast in the direction where Thanos is coming from, as she's doing this on Vision. It's like, and then Vision literally, the last words from him is like, and then he freaking blows him up, and then Vision dies. Vision explodes, and Wanda falls to the ground. At this moment, I was like, wow, okay, yes, at least they, because Thanos has been winning this whole time. At least they finally managed to get one of the stones and, destroy it. And then it just hit me at that moment. He freaking has the time stone, doesn't he? Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's not okay, man. I just realized to me at that moment that he has the time stone. So he comes up to Wanda. He's like, "Oh, my child, I understand. I've lost so much today, so I understand how you're feeling." So then, freaking rewinds time, brings Vision back, freaking holds Vision by the neck, freaking pulls out the Mind Stone from Vision, and Vision officially dies. He freaking died twice. How do you kill someone twice? You know what? It's fine. Anyway, it's not fine. It's not fine. So he grabs the thing, puts it in the the Mind Stone, puts it in the gauntlet, freaking feels the power. He's feels the power and everything, and freaking has all this. He's about to do the thing, and then Thor freaking throws the Stormbreaker hammer, axe rather, freaking stabs Thanos in the chest, like he's right in the chest. And then Thor comes up to Thanos and is like, I told you, didn't I? I told you I was going to get my revenge, I told you I was going to kick your ass, man. I told you I was going to make you pay for what you did, And then Thanos just looks at him and he's like, you should have gone for the head. Freaking snaps his fingers. Literally snaps his fingers. Then the screen goes white. Like literally white. And then we end up in this like sort of purgatory between life and death, like limbo sort of area, and then Thanos ends up there, and he's like Gamora, a younger version of Gamora is there with him, and she asks him, did you do it? And he's like, yes, my child, I did it. Yeah, I did it. Then she looks at him and she's like, was it worth it? Was it worth it? And then Thanos, I don't think he answered. He just looked at her with a sad face and everything. And then the screen turns white again, and then we end up back in Wakanda. The gauntlet is destroyed and everything. It looks like terrible, and Thanos' hand is like really injured and everything. And then Thor is looking at him like, what did you do? What happened? What happened? What did you do? So Thanos quickly escapes using the Space Stone, and he disappears. And then Cap is like, Thor, where did he go? What happened? What's going on? And then, all of a sudden, Bucky is calling out to Steve. And he's like, Steve? And all of a sudden, Bucky starts turning to dust. And dies. That was the first. Bucky turns to dust, dies. Falcon turns to dust, dies. Wanda, turns to dust, dies. Black Panther turns to dust and dies, man. Freaking Black Panther dies, man. And some of the warriors of Wakanda die. Alright. It's not alright, man. Freaking Groot dies. Groot, man. And then Rocket was like, no. Oh my god, man. This moment really cute. Oh man, it really hurt, man. It really hurt. Alright, cut to Titan. Mantis and Drax turn to dust, die. Peter Quill turns to dust, dies. And the one that really hurt me the most, the one that hurt me so much when I was coming out of that movie, and you know what I'm talking about, for those of you who watched the movie. Freaking Spider-Man, man, turns to dust and dies. Man, oh god, that one really hurt me, man. You remember that in Spider-Man Homecoming when he was stuck under the beam and everything? It was like, come on, Spider-Man, come on, Spider-Man. That was really sad. I really felt that. But now this one, I think this one, in terms of sadness, if you had like a sad meter, that one was like an 8, and this is a 10. This is a 10. He was freaking going up to Tony Stark and Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. And then he goes up, it's like, I don't want to die, Mr. Stark, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. And then, oh my god, that thing really hurt me, man. Damn, wow. Oh god. So now he's on the ground, and he's looking at Tony Stark and he's like, I'm sorry. And then he freaking disappears. Yeah. And then the only two people who remain were Nebula on Titan, or Nebula and Tony Stark. All the original Avengers are alive. Iron Man, Cap, Black Widow, Hulk, Thor, all of them are alive. And the only Guardian of the Galaxy left is, I said Guardian because there's only the one left, is Rocket. All the others are gone. So sad. And now we cut to some planet somewhere. The sun is setting, and actually, before we do that, I think Doctor Strange at a point asked Thanos. I mean, after you get the Infinity Gauntlet and you do the thing, what then? He's like, I finally, I rest. I finally sit down, watch the sunset, and finally rest because my work has been done. So now we cut to that point where we're on some planet. We're in like a cabin, sort of like a wood cabin, like a log cabin or something. And Thanos is walking. He's walking there. Freaking sits down. Sits down. Looks up to the sunset. And smiles. And then the movie ends there. That is one of the biggest cliffhangers I've ever gotten, man. Oh, that thing really hurt. Oh my god. But that's how the movie ends, man. That's how the movie ends. It's crazy. Oh man. But anyway, yes, that was my Infinity War spoiler talk review, man. And yeah. So the secret ending, of course, you have to talk about the secret ending, which is really cool. So Nick Fury and Maria Hill are driving, and they're driving, and they're talking about what's happening and everything. And all of a sudden a car pulls up in front of them and it crashes in front of them. So now they come out of the car, they look inside the car, they find nobody's there. So because at the time, still people are disappearing. Half of the people are disappearing. Half of humanity is disappearing. So they look, and then a freaking helicopter is crashing into a building because I'm assuming the pilot also disappeared. So now Maria is like, Nick. So she looks at her hands, and also she's disappearing. And then Nick Fury is like, oh shit! So freaking takes out some sort of contact device or something, like a phone or something. I don't know. So he freaking presses it, and then he looks at his hand and is like, oh, and then he freaking disappears before he could finish that sentence. So he freaking disappears. The phone, the device, whatever it is, the contact device or whatever, falls to the ground, and I don't know if it was saying scanning or searching. I think searching. So it says searching, or scanning. And then we get the freaking Captain Marvel symbol, man. Oh, that was so cool. I like the way they teased that, man. It was amazing. So we have confirmation now. She's gonna be in the next movie, we already knew she was gonna be in the next movie. With her movie coming out next year, and she's gonna be part of the Avengers 4 movie, of course. So yeah, that was my Avengers Infinity War review. The movie was really good, really great, man. I give it a 5 out of 5, man. It was a really good movie, like a really, really awesome movie, and honestly, really good movie, but really sad, because seeing your favorite characters just disappear like that, or die rather, it's just not cool. It's not cool. But they'll be back. They'll definitely be back. Especially Black Panther and Spider-Man, definitely. Spider-Man has a sequel coming out. Come on, definitely has to be back. But still, it really, really hurts. Anyway, guys, that was my movie review for Avengers Infinity War. Let me know what you guys think of the movie if you've watched it. Just let me know in the comment section. Which death hurt you the most? Because I think for me, generally, of course, Spidey. Okay, let's divide them into two. There are the people who disappeared, or rather turned to dust and died, and the people who died physically, like Loki, Gamora, and Vision. So I think out of those three, the death that really hit me the most was Gamora. I think that one was really, really painful. But in terms of the people who disappeared, of course, Spider-Man and Black Panther, the two of them, definitely, man. Those ones hit me really hard, really, really, really hard, man. I felt that shit. Anyway, guys, that was my movie review for Avengers Infinity War. By the way, shout out to Z-Shot for always commenting on my videos, for always liking the videos. I'm glad you watch the videos, man. I'm really I'm really glad I'm really happy for the sport and everything, and I'm glad you enjoy the videos. So shout out to you, man. I'll leave a link in the description below. Go subscribe to his channel. He's really an awesome guy, man. And thank you for everything, man. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.